It's Friday. What's good, everybody? Welcome this Friday morning to Straight Up Tennessee. It's your boy Ruck in the building. The boy Turn is still at the beach. But next week is going to be a banger. We're going to have the boy Tank, Jalen McCullough, joining the show. Man, can't decide exactly what day we're going to do just yet, but just know the boy Tank going to be up on the show. It's going to be a great week. But just to end this week, man, just want to kind of chop it up. A lot of the Tennessee Vols basketball freshman signees have finally got to campus. Not only that, but I kind of want to talk about some we ain't gonna be on Straight Up Tennessee without talking about Tennessee football, right? I have an idea, and I kind of want to diagnose it here on the show today. Where does Tennessee sit in the SEC with Georgia, Alabama? Are we there? Have we made it? Have we arrived? Let's find out and let's talk about it. I can't wait to dive into that. But then also, man, just preparing for the weekend, Tennessee baseball. Massive game this weekend to continue to see what they're going to do, how they're going to get into this College World Series, man. You already know what it is, though. It's your boy Ruck in the building. It's Straight Up Tennessee. It's Chop It Up Friday. Let's get it, man.
It's an Northander set to race onto the field. The Barbs will be boring the giant sea that stretches from that north inbound on a cold day becoming Glendo as the Big Orange sets to race on the Geo Buskins Field, ladies and gentlemen, and wherever you are.
Sir, we in the building, man. We here. What's happening, good people? It's Friday. Hope everybody's had a great week so far. Hope that you will continue your great week into the weekend. It's your boy Ruck in the building, man. Welcome to Straight Up Tennessee today. You know what it is. It's the top of the show. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell notification right now so you never, ever miss a show. On our way to 600 subscribers. We're only going to get there with you guys, man. And we're going to continue to keep pushing content, continue to keep getting better, and honestly continue to keep doing us. And that is just being authentic, being wild, and talking all things Tennessee from what? The Vols to the Grizzlies, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, man, we're thanking you. We're thankful for that as well, man. Continue to rate that thing 5 stars. Give us a review and let people know why they need to be tuned in and locked in to Straight Up Tennessee, boy. Like I said at the very, very beginning of the show, this week has been great, but next week is going to be even better, man. We're going to have the boy Jalen McCullough, Vols safety, 5th-year safety, joining us, man. And I just can't wait to chop it up with him, man. Talk more about his story. Talk more about when he committed to Tennessee. Feels like forever ago. Why Tennessee? Why did he leave Georgia? Why did he come to Tennessee? But then also just to get his view on all of the transition, all of the things that he has experienced in these 5 years, going on 5 years now at Tennessee. It's going to be a great conversation. Me and the boy Turn going to be able to interview him and really just chop it up and have a good time on Straight Up Tennessee next week. So be ready for that. It's going to be a great, great vibe. So, man, let's start it off this way. JP Estrella, Cade Phillips, a lot of the young guys from Tennessee basketball's roster, these freshmen, they have arrived on campus now, which is a massive thing. It's a great thing for them. I think not only is it a great thing for them, but it's a great thing for the University of Tennessee. Even all of the transfers from the Harvard transfer, then Dalton Connect. It's just really good to finally have all of these guys in the same room. I think for so long, everybody was just extremely hopeful, happy, excited. But now that it's actually here, I think now this team is going to get the opportunity to really see how good can they be. And the thing that I'm interested to see about this Tennessee basketball team this year, how do they act in pressure moments? You know, last year, Santiago Vescovi ended up being the most clutch player, in my opinion, on this roster. He's returning. Josiah James announces that he's returning as well. If you didn't see, Olivier Kamwa actually transfers to Michigan. Uh, I maybe it's a good look for him because now Jawan Howard's his coach, an NBA veteran who can get players to the league. Coach Hunter Dickinson. That that Hunter Dickinson role with Dickinson going to Kansas is now wide open there at Michigan. And maybe Kamwa is an instant impact for them. Like maybe this is the best thing for his career. Maybe. But the thing that we don't know is if that's actually true, right? Like there's it's all hypothetical at this point. Olivier could go to Michigan and have a better year, better season than he ever had at Tennessee, or he could go to Michigan and absolutely ruin his draft stock, ruin his career, uh, and so on and so forth. So I'm interested to see what does this do for Olivier. Now, bringing it back to us and our roster, we got better. Yes, we lose Olivier Kamwa. Yes, we lose Euros Plastic. I mean, Julian Phillips stays in the NBA draft. Honestly, like none of that affects us. What I mean, you got Zakai coming back, Santi, Josiah. You add Dalton Connect. You add CJ from Harvard. You got JP Estrella, Cade Phillips. Then you got guys that's been on the roster that hadn't played since. I mean, they didn't play last year. Freddie DeLone, DJ Jefferson. The list goes on and on. You get a transfer, sharpshooter, Justin Gainey. I mean, this team could potentially be something to absolutely wreck college basketball next year. And all I'm hearing is the Kentucky talk. My pastor, man, he is a huge Kentucky fan in basketball. And I respect Kentucky because of the tradition and how good they've been for such a long time. And that's all I'm hearing, man, is how good Kentucky's going to be with DJ Wagner and all of these guys, coming in. I get it. But Kentucky might not fill a roster in a couple months, like we're waiting to see how their roster's going to shape out right now. And so I say all of that to say, just kind of bringing it all back to the surface. How's this team going to look? Right? Yes, it's the middle of June. How is this team going to look in August, getting ready for exhibition games at the end of October, early November? I mean, I start to think more about the starting lineup. Like, how many combos could you do? Euros is gone, right? Tobe Awaka's coming back, right? So it's like, man, does Tobe get the start since Olivier's gone? Like, what does that first five look like? Is Freddie or is it DJ? Like, which one of these young cats is going to step up instantly and make an impact early? Because I think that's going to be the key to how much success we have, not just early, but throughout the season. Because if a team, if a lineup can get really grooving, it's going to be a special year. But if we are in the middle of December trying to figure it out, like we were last year, I said this middle of December last year, we're still trying to figure out who we are. We can't score the basketball well. Defense is lacking in different key moments in different games. We couldn't figure out who we necessarily were, and I knew that was going to hurt us the later it got. And we got to February 1st, and it continued. And so this year, we have to have an identity early. We know Rick Barnes' team's identity is always going to be defensive first, defensive mind. Like, hey, how can we lock you up? That way, if we don't shoot the ball well, you're not going to score more points. But on top of that, this year, I feel like with the scope of college basketball and specifically the SEC and how much it is becoming a scorers conference, how much it's becoming a conference that's getting those top recruits every single year. Not just Kentucky, but everybody in the SEC is getting those top recruits now. How can we find scorers? And I think we did that in Dalton Connect, Justin Gainey. I think we found some scorers, and, we've yet to see DJ Jefferson and Freddie DeLone. So I'm excited. It's going to be great, man. I really can't wait to see how this team shapes out. But before we talk about Tennessee baseball, I really want to talk about what I talked about earlier, in the early intro of the show. How close is Tennessee? How close are we to being on the same level or being in the same playing field. I understand people are saying the Alabama game was a fluke, and I'm not sure that that is true. Like, I don't think the Alabama game was just like yeah, Tennessee just played really good that night. It progressed throughout the season. Um, Alabama was our sixth game right in the middle of the year. It's back and forth the whole time. I believe. I mean, God, not I believe. I remember we were up 28-10 at one point. And so I feel like the question is going to be now coming into 2024 again, right? This year it stays the same. We've got East and West. We've got to beat Georgia to get to the SEC championship and to hopefully keep our college football playoff hopes and dreams alive. We got to beat Georgia. But with that, the Alabama game, in my opinion, was not a fluke, but to the media of the world, the ESPNs and SEC Network, it's becoming it's seeming like people are not believing that Tennessee is fully at a place where we can say, yeah, we can compete with Alabama every single year. We're definitely gonna find that out going to Bryant Denny Stadium this year. Your boy gonna be in attendance. I can't wait for that to get that Alabama taste. I'm excited for that game, 100%. I think it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be back and forth, and I do have us losing that game as of right now, um, just because of the environment and having to go to Bama after beating Alabama this past year. I don't know. I have us losing that game, but shoot, we could very well win the game. I promise we can. So, but where are we? Right? It's a lot of I think we can, but like, where actually are we? Volquest put out a great article actually this morning, and it was all about specifics, talking about the three toughest offenses and defenses that Tennessee is going to play in 2023. Lo and behold, the first two offenses and defenses are the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs. Let's talk about this for a second. Alabama loses Bryce Young. A lot of people think that Bryce Young might have been the best Alabama quarterback in the last 20 years. 20 years. Like, Bryce Young has been the best quarterback in Alabama Crimson Tide football history. I'm not an Alabama fan, but I think Bryce Young's the best quarterback they've ever had. I mean, better than Greg McElroy, better than AJ McCarron, better than Jake Coker, better than a lot of those dudes, better than Mac Jones and Tua. Like, I think Bryce Young was just built different. Jahmyr Gibbs is also gone. Now you've got Jalen Milroe, you've got Ty Simpson, and then after the spring, they bring in Notre Dame quarterback, the transfer, what's his name? Tyler Buchner or Buckner or however you say his name. Why did he come? Well, his offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, is now hired at Alabama. And so you still have a great receiving core at Alabama. You still get Brooks. You still have Burton, right? But what does this actually look like? Then the second offense they have is Georgia. Stetson Bennett's gone, bro. They got quarterbacks. I think they got, who is it? Carson Beck and some I don't remember dude's first name, but something Vandergriff or whatever. You still got Brock Bowers, best tight end in the country. You still got Ladd McConkey, great receiver. You got Ra Thomas. You got Lovett from Missouri, right? Like, Georgia's got boys. But when you go to the defenses, it says the first two defenses that Tennessee is going to face that's hardest is Texas A&M and Georgia. Obviously, Georgia, we know that. They held us down last year, 100%. They really held us down. And it's going to be interesting to see who emerges on that Georgia defense again this year, but somebody will. But Texas A&M is hard for me to swallow. But And we'll talk about that on the next week. I know Monday on the Monday rundown we want to kind of talk about every team, how we match up. We're not going to do score predictions or anything, but we want to talk about every single team, how we match up, and what is that going to look like for us um, early. Like, can we be 5-0 going to Texas A&M? And I say going to Texas A&M, we're going into Texas A&M because guess what? They come in the Neyland Stadium, so get ready. Um, but I kind of want to go back to the Alabama and Georgia thing. How close are we? I think we're still one more year away from being on the same level as Georgia. Here's why. We're also 1 year away from Josh Heupel solidifying a 4-year roster of his own. A lot of people don't realize how big this is and how much this means to a program and to a head coach when all of the guys on your roster were recruited by your staff. Now, there's still guys from Jeremy Pruitt's roster that are on this team now, and they have completely changed their game. They're much better, faster, think better, play more physically, play more violently, more sound. Like, you get what I'm trying to say. But there's something special about when a coach has a 4-year recruiting cycle and all of the kids that are on that football team and in that program have been recruited by the guy that's at the head right now. And we're 1 year away from that. And so I think we're still a year away from the Georgia conversation of, hey, is Tennessee legitimately a contender now? Um, and we can't say the East because it won't be the East in 24. But is Tennessee a legitimate contender when it comes to where we're heading in the recruiting cycle? Yeah, we lose Sammy Brown and yada, yada, yada. He goes to an ACC school. He don't want to play in the SEC. Obviously, that's soft. You go to the ACC where you just more than likely guaranteed a shot to go play in a bigger bowl game or a bigger BCS, or not BCS, but a college football playoff game. That's sorry, bro. Yeah, that pissed me off. I can't even lie. I was so hot. I was like, bro, even if you didn't come to Tennessee, like, I was cool. I didn't care if you went to Tennessee. Go to an SEC school. Like, if you're supposed to be the best linebacker in the state of Georgia and you going to go to an ACC school, you trash, bro. Like, you're not trash, but mentally I'm just like, bro, that's weak. I'm sorry. That's my 2 cents. But anyways, we're still a year away, I think, from Georgia. Alabama, talk to me in October. We're going to talk about this again. I'm going to have to bring this back up in October. Talk to me again, because if Tennessee goes out there and beats Alabama at Bryant-Denny 2 years straight, Tennessee beats Alabama. Oh, man. Could we be could we actually be 1-2 with Georgia and Alabama somehow becomes the look down on? Like, everybody's like, is the dynasty over? A lot of Alabama fans are like, no, the dynasty is not over. We'll find out this year, I think. Alabama's got 3 great home games this year. I mean, they get us at home, they get LSU at home. I mean, those 2 right there, I mean, we both beat them at home last year. And so I think that those 2 specifically for Alabama, they've got circled. So we'll find out. I think this is an ongoing conversation. But I do think that we're still a year away from Georgia. But I can't say that right now about Alabama. Talk to me in October. So lastly, Tennessee's baseball team is heading to Southern Miss, Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And we're going to see what happens. I mean, you're playing Southern Miss in Hattiesburg. It's going to be very competitive. It's going to be a hot day. And I just hope that we pitch the ball well. That is the thing. How do we pitch against this team? If we get runs knocked on us early, I think we could potentially be in a whole lot of trouble. However, this game is Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern time, so 2 o'clock Central. Southern Miss was 45-18. Tennessee was 41-19 this year. So the first game starts Saturday at 3. The second game will be Sunday. And then the game 3, if it is necessary, will be played Monday. You know, it's best of 3. So if Tennessee or Southern Miss wins first to 2, heads on. And when you get to this time of the year, it's not going to be easy. But when you get to this time of the year, there's a lot more pressure on how you perform each inning of every game. Not just each game. Like it starts to be like, hey, we got to be strategic in the innings. And so I trust Tony V. I trust our hitting rotation. I just hope that pitching can be absolutely dominant. And we can get up out of Hattiesburg and get to that College World Series again. So, y'all, it's been Chop It Up Friday, man. I love the show today. It's been a vibe. Y'all already know what to do right now, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you never miss an episode. Apple and Spotify listeners, thank y'all, man. We appreciate you so much. Next week, again, the boy Jalen McCullough joining the show. Tennessee defensive back. And, man, we can't wait. It's going to be a banger of a week. I think we're going to be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday of next week. And so just lock in. Chop It Up Friday today. We'll be back next Monday for the Monday Rundown. We'll hit our midweek chat, and then we'll have Chop It Up Friday, man. We'll see which one we get Tank on. It's going to be litty, though. But for my dog Turner, man, it's your boy Ruck in the building. You already know what it is. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Have a great weekend. Get out on the lake. Get in the pool. Because it's going to be too hot. You feel what I'm saying? So have a great weekend, man. We'll see y'all back on Monday for the Monday Rundown. We out.